Good morning, everyone. My name is Nicolas, and today I will be talking about Pestel and Swot analysis for the company AMWAY. Now, before we start with all the information, I would like to go through the introduction and explain the, the things that we're going to be covering in this presentation. So, first thing is AMWAY, who they are, what they sell, and how they came up with this idea of AMWAY company. Second thing, we'll be talking about the two countries that I chose in order to conduct the pestle analysis of AMWAY. And then thirdly, we'll be talking about what pestle stands for, how is it useful for companies, and how we can use it when we want to use it for a specific particular company. Then the fourth would be doing the pestle analysis in the company chosen, in this case AMWAY. Then fifth point, we'll be talking about SWOT analysis, how is it useful for companies, what can we do with this, and so on. And then lastly, then predicting the market in China and how they will be, whether it's beneficial for the company to continue performing in the market, in the Chinese market, or not. Okay, so first thing is AMWAY, helping people live better lives. So AMWAY, it was founded in 1959 by two Dutch friends that went to high school together. Their name is Jay Van Andel and Richard DeVos. They, after coming back from the military school, they decided to enter in a company, sell the products of a company called Hyperlight. And after some time, they decided to open their own company called GR. And after some time, they decided to rename this Jerry company into AMWAY. Now, AMWAY has been the number one company in the past few years of direct selling. They have over 450 products, which are based in health, home care, cosmetics, and energetic drinks, which was the last purchase. They also have 1 million IPOs that are constantly selling and promoting their products. IBO stands for Independent Business Owner, and they also operate in over 100 countries, which is very beneficial for the company. And lastly, in 2019, they made a revenue of 8.8 billion. Now, what is multi-level marketing? So multi-level marketing is a business strategy that pretty much encourages the business participants to recruit more people in their business so they can also start selling the AMWAY's products. Now, what does AMWAY does? They give some bonuses, or they also give some commission for people that recruit people to their business. But there's one important thing, and is that their multi-level marketing focuses more in the selling of the products rather than the recruitment of people. It's not like a pyramid scheme where they recruit people and they, after recruiting all these people, they take this money and they pay people that stand in higher positions in the pyramid. So this is the difference, and multi-level marketing is a completely legal business strategy that is allowed in many countries. Now, the two chosen countries that I picked for this analysis is China and the United States. Why China? China is the largest market of AMWAY. So in this research, I chose it because I think it was very interesting to talk about the largest market of AMWAY, knowing that the Chinese government is a communist government, and also how the company of AMWAY had to adapt to this communist government. And China is also the second strongest economy in the world, and the rates of the consumption in the market is one of the highest also in the world, and is the world's largest manufacturing economy. Now, why I chose the US? The US are the founders of AMWAY. They are a capitalist country, so it's very interesting to compare the performances of a company in a communist country and a capitalist country. And also, the US is the strongest economy in the world. Now, what's Pestel and what does it stand for? So Pestel is a management framework. So pretty much it can be used to analyze the external and internal factors that can affect the company when they want to enter a specific market or a certain country. So it will tell us whether it's beneficial for the company to enter this market or not. What does it stand for? Pestel stands for political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal. It is also important to know that all these factors that can affect the company cannot be controlled by the business. So, for example, if there's a natural disaster that can affect the business has to adapt to this problem. Or, for instance, if the government releases a new law or implements a new law in the market that can affect your business, either positively or badly, then the company has to be able to react to this. By doing this Pestel analysis, the company would be able to react to the changes in the market. So this is what Pestel is used for. Now, I chose 3 factors here to conduct the analysis for AMWAY. So we'll be talking about the political, social, and legal factors. What can we find in political factors? We can find government taxations, whether the country charges a lot of money or a little bit of money in their taxes annually. Also, what business regulations should the company follow in order to perform in this market, and what government laws should be respected or also follow. We'll be looking also at social factors. Social factors, for example, can be the lifestyle people have, whether they have good education, if they're getting a lot of money, will they buy our products or not, and if they have enough money to purchase our products if we enter this particular country. And then legal factors, we can see employment law, if we want to hire people there, what requirements should we have, and what policies should we follow, and what benefits should the employment get. Then consumer protection, recruitment. These are some of the legal factors that we have to follow. Now, number 4, I would like to conduct a Pestel analysis in China and the US. We'll be starting with China, and this research is mainly focused in the sales department. So the political factors of China are the following. The first one is that the Chinese government is a communist government. So this means that the government will have a lot of influence and a lot of participation in the performances of the business. So they will have a lot of regulations. It is a bit more complicated for certain companies, especially foreign companies, to participate and perform in the Chinese market. There's a lot of things that the companies have to follow, a lot of rules. For instance, in 1998, the multi-level marketing companies were banned in China. So this affected the department of sales in AMWAY, since they couldn't perform their business or sell their products anymore. So in addition to this problem, the AMWAY reacted and adapted themselves by changing their business model. So these were the solutions of the political factors that affected AMWAY. So the first thing is that they had to change their business model, and they were not longer multi-level marketing, but they became a direct marketing. What's the difference? It's very much, it has all the similar things as a multi-level marketing. The only difference is that you will no longer get any type of commission by recruiting people into AMWAY's business. So because Chinese government does not allow multi-level marketing, or it does not allow they don't allow companies paying this type of commissions to people that recruit more people in their business. So what did they have to prove in order to be part and take place in the Chinese market? So AMWAY had to prove that they had 3 years of foreign experience. They should prove that they had 14.5 million in bond deposit and 11 million in registered capital in order to enter the market. In addition to this, AMWAY had to also open retail outlets so that consumers could come and and if they had any problem, they could come to this retail outlets and get assistance from Amway. So these were some of the solutions that Amway had to take into account. Now we'll be looking at the social factors. So Amway has been a company that's been very involved with the community in China, the community. They created, for instance, they were awarded by the Chinese Charity Award in 2013 by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They have also invested 9.3 billion in commissions for Chinese distributors. So they can get some commissions only by the sales that they make. So distributors they do get commissions, but only by the sales and not the recruitment of people. And the best employees are usually taken to trips around the world, like Dubai, Paris, and so on. They're also very involved in the community entertainment. For example, in 2012, the Amway sponsored the Chinese team in the Olympic Games. And during the research that I did in Amway, I found out that Harvard and Amway have a program that allows Chinese people to go for certain time to study public management in the US, so they can later come back to China and have a better understanding of how to manage their business. Now, what are the legal factors? So in order to operate in the Chinese market, Amway had to adjust the category of distributors. So the first one is direct sales. Direct sales are people that can sell Amway products, but they don't get any commission by recruiting people. They can just sell their products directly and independently in different parts of China. Now, the second thing is that they had to open retail outlets. By opening retail outlets, they should also give people a good contract that they can come and work for Amway and a fixed location. And the last one would be agents. So agents are the people that can, they're owners of a fixed location. They have a business license and they can get commissions by promoting Amway. But they can do this because of the direct business license that they get. So this is how Amway had to divide their sellers into three categories in order to perform in China market. Now, the US Pestel analysis also is based on the sales department. So the political factors affecting Amway in the US. So unlike the Chinese market, the US is more freely to operate, and the MLMs are allowed in the USA market. But the regulations might also change depending on the state you want to perform your business. So Amway has to look and see whether it's beneficial for them to operate in a specific state or not. And they're more oriented into recruitment, and also the governments charge 21% of the taxes for corporations that want to operate in the US. Social factors. So as mentioned before, Amway has also been very involved in the community in the US. For example, they have an agreement in our campaign with Power of Five, Easter Seal, and the US Dream Academy that are associations. For example, with Power of Five, they have a campaign to reduce the malnutrition in children. They also invest a lot in entertainment. They're the owners of Amway Sport Arena, and they are the owners of the basketball team that plays in the NBA called Orlando Magic. Now, what legal factors should Amway have taken into account when opening a business in the US? So the actions must maintain always transparent. They should always be familiarized with the health standards because they are a company that sells health supplements, so they should be careful with this and not injure any person or make any damage to any person buying and purchasing their products. It's also the average income for a person working in the US would be around 40 to 50,000 annually. So this will help the the company to know how much money they should determine if they want to open their business in the US. And in 2019, only 2.9% of salary was increased. And this can also be beneficial for the company because they will see whether the people have enough money to buy their products or not in the country. Now, what is SWOT and how does it help the companies? So SWOT is a management framework as well that enables companies to understand the strengths and weaknesses in their business. So the strengths and weaknesses are the internal factors of your company, and the opportunities and trends would be the external factors. And so this will help us plan strategies for the company if we want to enter into a new market. By looking at the strengths and the weaknesses of the Amway company, we can see that Amway is the number one direct sales company. So this will be very important for a person wanting to enter Amway, as they can see that it's a very strong company. They have a big range of products, over 400. They operate in more than 90 countries, and they're constantly doing research and investigations in order to make new products for the market. So all this can be very beneficial for the company and for people to come and be part of Amway, as they seem to be a very strong company, and also is the 42nd largest company in the US. What weaknesses can we see in Amway? So first thing is that the prices are quite high. It can be very problematic for business participants to sell their products. They do not advertise a lot online, and the only way you can purchase the products is by purchasing them online. Unless you live in China, you can go to outlets and retail stores where you can actually buy the products there. But other than that, you have to always buy them online. So this can be a very problematic situation for people wanting to buy products. They also have been accused of pyramid scheme. People they get a lot of confusion thinking that the Amway is actually a pyramid scheme and not just a multi-level marketing and a legal company. Now, the opportunities. If we base the opportunities in the Chinese market, we can see that China is an economy that's constantly increasing. Over the past 40 years, the economy has increased. So this is very beneficial for the company. We can also see that the labor in the China is very low. So this can also be very beneficial for the company, as they won't be spending as a lot of money in employees. Another thing that we can say is that China has a big amount of raw resources, of raw material. So actually, Amway has opened new factories in China to operate and make their products for Asia. Now, what threats can we see? So there's a lot of competition nowadays in the online markets. So China has also a big variety of products. This can affect the company, as many people will buy local products. And there's a lot of regulations that the company has to follow because of the Chinese government's laws. So this could be some of the threats. So this is how we can see how we can conduct a SWOT analysis in the market of Amway. Now, predicting the market in China, whether this will be beneficial for the company to stay in the Chinese market or not. So we'll be basing this research into the three political factors. So the first political factor, China has become part of the World Trade Organization, which means that more foreign companies will enter the Chinese market. The economy is expected to increase by 6%, so many people will have more money to buy products in China. And now, if we look at the social factor, we can see that an increase in the middle class has been going on for over 40 years. Chinese government expects by 2020, the poverty will be completely eliminated in the China country. They have also invested a lot in new projects for urban development. they actually invested 24 billion for 180 projects by 2020. And what legal factors can we see? So China has they expect to surpass the US by 2028. So this means that they have a very long goal to achieve, and it looks very advantageous for the company of AMWAY to stay in the Chinese market, as they will make more money and their economy of China is being very strong. So in conclusion, we can count to see that the Chinese market is very strong for the company to continue in China. Okay, that's been the presentation. Thank you. I hope it was clear, and if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to make them. Thank you.